You're listening to the Energy Trade Show podcast. We're coming at you live from Lake Charles, Louisiana at the America's LNG Summit. Did I say all that right? Is that right?
Sounded right to me.
And I'm with Mike Moncla, who is the LOGA, that's Louisiana Oil and Gas Association president. Did I say that right?
Correct. LOGA. Yes.
LOGA. LOGA. Okay, tell me, what is the Louisiana Oil and Gas Association? I can only imagine, but you tell me.
Yeah. Well, we are a trade group made up of service side, mostly started out on the upstream, but with LNG and refineries, we give them the products that make them what they are, so that we get a lot of support from the LNG refinery and midstream side of the business too. We make up about 400 to 500 members in our association.
That's pretty impressive. Where's the headquarters?
Headquarters is Baton Rouge. I live in Lafayette, about an hour drive from there. But it's I'm third generation on the upstream side. That took this LOGA job to try to help save our industry and help fight for our industry at the Capitol.
Yeah,
still an owner of my family business, but I am working full time for LOGA.
Man, okay, so you obviously have been in the industry. Your family has been in the industry. Mm-hmm. So tell me, what is like the one thing that you want people to know about LOGA and how important it is for them to have a responsibility to the community?
Well, the oil and gas industry as a whole in Louisiana, I mean, it represents over 300,000 jobs, 77.7 billion in our state GDP is from the oil and gas sector. What we would like to see is the upstream percentage get higher of that 77.7 and that 300,000 employees. It used to be much higher. Today, it only represents about 20% of that number, the upstream side.
Okay.
So we would like to see drilling come back to Louisiana and get busier on that side. The refineries and the LNG and the pipeline, those are really carrying the water in Louisiana, where a lot of the production and the upstream activity has moved over to Midland and other basins.
So what are you doing here at the conference itself, the LNG Summit?
Well, like I said, we get a lot of support from LNG and midstream and the refineries even, because we give them the products that they build on. And so a lot of my members are, LNG companies and refineries. So, Cheniere, Venture Global, Energy Transfer, Woodside, all those are good members of mine.
That's awesome. And what does one have to do to be a member of LOGA?
Just go to my website, loga.la, and you can join different levels. It's a very inexpensive, but we think valuable investment to invest in, the trades that are helping promote industry in Louisiana. And for just $1,000, you could be a member for a year, and it gets you 2 memberships. So basically 2 people for $1,000.
And what are some of the benefits of someone wanting to join LOGA? If I were an operator, if I were working in LNG, or if I was just simply someone who was a part of the industry, is it good for me to join LOGA, or tell me about that?
Yeah, well, we're basically a spokesperson for the industry, right?
Got you.
So whether it's the media calling every week over, something going on, some green group or some environmental group fighting us, we have to, put that fight back up at the media. Same thing goes on at the Capitol. We run bills that are pro oil and gas. We also try to fight off the bills that are anti-oil and gas.
Yeah, okay.
We also have PACs that we can give money to candidates. We make sure that the candidates that are running for office are vetted. We want to interview those candidates. We want to make sure that they're not just business friendly, they need to be oil and gas friendly, because we found out the hard way that there's a lot of business people that will say, oh yeah, we're business friendly, but then when it comes to a vote, they're not necessarily oil and gas friendly. So we try to make that distinction of where they're going to be on a vote before we give them our support. But yeah, those kind of things. I mean, like even for LNG, over the last 2 years, I've probably been to Cameron, Sulphur, and different areas for whether it's a FERC hearing, whether it's EPA hearing, a DEQ hearing. So we'll go put our statements into the record, pro oil and gas statements for the LNG industry. So it has been important to my membership.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that makes sense to me. What's the one thing you want the people to know about LOGA, the general public?
Well, just the upstream side is what we really want to try to fix in our state. And it's going to be difficult. I mean, we had the highest oil price in the history of presidents under Biden.
Yeah.
$80 in oil average over 4 years. And, Trump comes in with drill, baby, drill. And, we tend to be more Republican on the oil and gas side. And we were excited about getting, Trump in because he'll take the foot off your throat on the regulation side.
Gotcha.
But what Trump also likes is low gasoline.
Yeah.
And low gasoline means the only way to get that is with low oil.
Right.
And I don't know if you keep up with it, but we do. and every day I look and it keeps going down.
Yeah.
We're already at $58 a barrel.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very difficult go. I mean, from 2015 to 20, right after OPEC flooded the market, there were over 1,000 bankruptcies.
Yeah.
Whether, service side, operators, you name it. And so now with oil going from $80 average all the way back down to 58 right now, it's going to be a tough go for the upstream sector.
And, I was at a Doug event in Midland last week and talking about the Permian Basin, the industry outlook. And a lot of people think that it's going to be 55 or lower. Yeah, 50 to 55, maybe 45% or $45. So I'm not entirely sure how that's going to go, but it's interesting to hear you say, $58, and it could be chilling around that area.
No, and that would be a scary number. And, Midland is so blessed with this huge basin where you can drill horizontally into that shale play. One of the things we don't have in Louisiana is an oil shale play. All we have is the Haynesville shale, which is natural gas in North Louisiana, which is good for LNG because, proximity and the pipelines are already there. So you're able to get Louisiana natural gas from the Haynesville straight here into LNG. But on the upstream activity side, we don't have an oil shale play that investors are running in here trying to drill horizontal for oil in Louisiana. So that's hurt. That hurts.
So you already said it, but where can people find out more information about LOGA?
At LOGA.la is our website.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Mike, thank you so much for being on the Energy Trade Show podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Have a good day.